Hello and welcome to Geekatplay Studio Tutorials. In this tutorial we're going to look at how to create an island in the ocean. This tutorial has been done a lot of times by other people, but in ours we're going to try to combine several requests and talk about how to create a shoreline, and we'll look at filters inside the terrane, and we'll look at some interesting abilities in the Echo Brush system. So now we'll just start by creating a terrane. And this is just a normal simple terrane. Edit object, and we have our familiar view of the terrane here. And now we're just going to play with these options a little bit. So I'll just click here, and then we have this fractal terrain options pop up where we have this noise distribution and altitude distribution. We're looking at altitude distribution right now. To understand this, let's right click edit, so we'll have a bigger look, and let's imagine it this way, so maybe it will help you a little bit. This is your side and this is your center, okay, and this is your altitude, which is now going in a straight diagonal. So if we go in the middle right here and create like a new key point, take it and we move it down, so we're saying I want everything almost up to the middle quarter to be pretty flat or shallow in their slope, and the rest will go up pretty steeply, and this is what we'll get. We'll have this going up very slowly and the rest popping up very steep. So if we take this point and move it close to the edge and we say, hey, on the shore I want it shallow because it's like a beach, and then there are rocks, so I want to have it like a cliff, and now maybe here I want a ledge kind of a thing, and right here I want one more key point, and I want to flatten down a little bit because there's the wind and everything. And this here is how the sides of your terrane is going to look. And this is what we have now. We have very shallow here. There's waves hitting and sand clicking, and right here maybe there's another plateau on top. Maybe the rocks were higher, this rock is softer. And we did this by using our options in the terrane. Also, if you want this shoreline to be smaller, you can clip it up a little, but we'll keep it that way for now. And this here is our island. And now we'll start working at it and first get a bit of a view of it. And this is what we have. You can now see that there's some shore here on the island. Okay, let's take our camera, move it a little above and look a little down so we get this kind of overview. Now let's change the material now, and we'll add mixed materials. We'll do it very simple with mixed layer here. In our next tutorial we'll be talking about how to use layers with your materials and increase what you can do with them. But for now we're just going to use mixed materials. In one tutorial in the past in material distribution, we can go and replace materials, and we did this to cover two versions of Vue, 5 and 6, but in version 6 they also have added another option, and because this is mostly for version 6, we'll show you this. Instead of changing the material here, all that you need to do is just click on this pen here and it will apply colors automatically. So now you can preview the layout of your colors in this area. So you can say maybe I want a bit more red in this area, and maybe we'll make it blend more together a little. If you have version 5 of Vue, you can go ahead and use the advice we gave in the material distribution tutorial, where we select the plain color materials and work with the distribution and then go back and replace them. But if you're in Vue 6, this is a better option for you. It's much easier. So red is our bottom and green is the top. And let's replace the red with the sand. And we're going to landscape, and it's in the rocks. And let's just create wet sand. And we'll take our top one, and we'll replace our top with the paths in the sand, maybe. Okay. Let's click OK here. And let's also click on our ground and replace our ground also with the wet sand. So let's decrease the scale, maybe to make it look a little better. So now if we preview, we see this as some island with some sand. Okay, now it's probably time to create water. So we go right here and we select the layer, and we'll put it a little bit down, double time click to open our basic materials. And we'll look a little later at this option. So let's click mix material, and we'll select our simple material to edit, and let's just select milk. It will be our basic beginning color. And now we need to change the colors. So we'll just apply so we can preview how the colors will mix. And we'll go to distribution material, right click and click edit function. And if you notice, in edit function we have one node right here that is distribution. What we need to do is add an input node, and we need to add a filter as well. And now instead of this filter being here, we need to set it to the map, and our input node here, let's change that to distance to object below. So you'll notice that it's already starting to change. Right now what we need to do is go to our filter and change our input values to be sure it will display this way. And this is kind of easy. We'll just put the upper value to -1. And here you'll see it's changing already. And we'll put the upper value here to maybe about 3.9 or something, and let's maybe increase this a little bit higher so we can see the shore is going like this, about white. So we are setting these numbers. What is happening here is that these numbers will increase with lower density, so whatever material it detects below, it will increase in this value, and we'll see how far this is increasing. And in yours it will depend on how wide you want to make this shore. And again, you can mix it up with a different white or with more different colors, but for this tutorial I think this should be enough so we can visually see that it's there. So let's click OK, and now we'll just modify it a little bit with the materials, and let's just go to our normal water, and it should be fine. But let's go ahead and change the color and make it a little bit darker. And the reason it's darker is for the tutorial to make it a little bit easier to see the colors there. And in the milk, actually, you know, let's go up to the bumps and let's copy this function and paste so they will look pretty similar. You can modify them, increase them. Normally, even if you copy, you probably want to increase it a little on the bumps because it forms a little more bumpy. And the highlights, we probably want to go to the dull and bring the intensity a little bit brighter. Let's increase the transparency, we're coming from the milk, so we need to change it a little here. And the murkiness, that's about right. Let's reduce our reflectivity, and our effects, we probably want to make it a little bit more wider, so it'll look more like foam, sea foam. So let's click OK, and let's preview what we have right now. Again, this is very raw, but you can see how we have this white foam, how it's surrounding this island. So it's like a water shore. And this is a good beginning. Mostly now you just need to be tweaking it around to set the colors properly and have it more realistic looking, darker and others. You can also apply some fog around here. But for now, let's look at some other options. And when we have the terrain selected, we'll go to our brush system. And let's add a plant. And as a plant, we'll just select just a normal coconut tree. Click OK. And we'll select just brush. And let's maybe decrease the scale a little bit lower, and when we do, we'll just put a few of them right here. And here's an interesting tip. If you hold it down here a little longer, the size will actually increase. So the ones in the middle here, we can make them way bigger. And if you just hold them up, they just go up. So again, let's do this one more time and erase all of them. So erase, select our brush, and again we'll put the small ones, and these ones here are kind of small ones. And here in the middle we'll hold it again, and there we are growing much bigger than the rest. And it's growing very fast. Let's press OK now. And let's preview what we have very fast. Here are some small palms, and then this group in the middle are huge. Let's add maybe a few more palms. Right here. And again here we'll press and make them a little more and the bigger. Okay, let's take our camera now and let's maybe put it right here so we can see this island. Let's go to atmospheres, load an atmosphere, and let's we'll load our atmospheres and render and see what we have. And we have our picture. Okay, and we created a very fast shoreline with our materials with foam going around, and we looked at also at the terrain filter so we can create custom looking islands by predefining variables, and we also looked at the brush ability with the echo system when it increases in size when you hold it longer so that you have some more control over the plants that you add into the ecosystem. And thank you for watching this tutorial from Geekatplay Studio. If you have any questions or comments or want some additional resources, please visit us at www.geekatplay.com.